Welcome to a totally awesome documentary. Have you ever wondered what to do for a minor ailment late at night? Perhaps a nagging cough. Or an annoying insect bite. Your first instinct might be to reach for a medicine cabinet. But what if I told you simple, effective, safe solutions could be hiding in plain sight? They might be in your kitchen pantry, your fruit bowl, or even your freezer. This is the world of home remedies. For generations, families have passed down these traditional fixes. They represent a collective wisdom, born from trial and error. In our modern scientific world, do these old methods still hold up? That is the journey we're about to embark on, separating fact from fiction. This documentary explores simple, practical fixes that can make a real difference to everyday health. We will look at 14 of them. These are not miracle cures. They are not meant to replace professional medical advice. They are first-line responses for minor issues. Think home first aid. Think of them as the first aid you can find in your home. We will investigate traditional approaches for sore throats, minor burns, and trouble sleeping. We'll put long-held beliefs under the microscope. The goal: a toolkit of safe, evidence-informed strategies you can use with confidence. Throughout, I will be your guide. Remedies from grandparents' kitchens and some that may surprise you. The humble oat for itchy skin. A breathing technique for hiccups. We'll answer questions like these. Moving beyond anecdotes to current scientific evidence. Understand when a remedy is sensible and when to seek professional help. For each remedy, tradition, modern science, biological explanation. We'll show step-by-step safe use, who should avoid it, and warning signs. This isn't just what to do, it's how to make informed, sensible health decisions. Let's begin with the powerful, overlooked remedies all around us. On Earth, we have a healthy skepticism. We like things that are practical. That makes sense. And that actually work. The world of home remedies can often feel like the opposite. It can be a confusing mix of outdated advice and genuine wisdom. So how do you tell them apart? How do you know if using honey for a cough is a myth or a fact? This is the core of our documentary, applying a myth versus fact lens to these traditional practices. We are going to sort through the noise. We will rely on guidance from reputable sources, including Australian health authorities and respected medical organizations, to ground our investigation in solid evidence. It's vital to understand that not all evidence is created equal. Some home remedies are backed by strong scientific trials, the same kind used to test modern medicines. For these, we can be confident in their effectiveness. Other remedies have more limited or moderate evidence supporting them. They might show promise, but more research is needed. And then there are those that are purely traditional, used for centuries, but with little to no scientific study to back them up. I will be very clear about which category each remedy falls into. This way, you can understand the real level of certainty behind each one, helping you to make better choices. This clarity is everything. It protects you. It stops you from relying on an unproven method when you really need medical care. For instance, we will explore why placing a cold steak on a black eye is a classic movie trope, but a terrible idea in reality. We will also discover why a simple bag of frozen peas is a much better and safer alternative. We'll look at the science of cold therapy and why it works to reduce swelling. This is the kind of practical, evidence-based switch we will be making throughout our journey. From old wives' tale to a scientifically sound approach that you can use safely and effectively at home. So, get ready to be surprised. Prepare to have some long-held beliefs challenged and others confirmed. We will open up some curiosity loops along the way. For example, what common kitchen spice has been shown in some studies to have anti-inflammatory properties similar to ibuprofen for certain conditions? And which simple fruit might help you adjust to jet lag faster? We will answer these questions and many more. By the end, you will have a clear, reliable, and evidence-informed guide to 14 home fixes that truly work, empowering you to handle life's minor health bumps with greater confidence and knowledge. Let's start with one of the most common complaints, one that can ruin a good day or keep you up at night: a sore throat. For centuries, across countless cultures, the go-to remedy has been a spoonful of honey. Sometimes it's taken straight, other times mixed into a warm drink with lemon. a comforting ritual passed down from grandparents, a sweet, soothing balm for that raw, scratchy feeling. But is honey just an old wives' tale, or is there real substance behind its reputation? Myth versus fact. Modern science largely supports the tradition. Reputable organisations, including the UK's National Institute for Health and Care Excellence and Public Health England, actually recommend honey as a first-line treatment, particularly for children over 1 year of age. The evidence is considered moderate to strong. Several studies have shown that honey can be as effective, and sometimes more effective than over-the-counter cough medicines, at reducing the severity and frequency of coughs, which often accompany a sore throat. This is a significant endorsement, moving honey from folklore into evidence-informed care for minor respiratory symptoms. So how does it work? The magic of honey appears to be twofold. Firstly, its thick, viscous nature provides a physical coating for the irritated tissues at the back of your throat. This creates a protective barrier, much like a lozenge, which can immediately soothe the raw, scratchy sensation. Secondly, honey is more than just sugar. It contains natural compounds with antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. While it won't cure a bacterial infection like strep throat, these properties may help to reduce inflammation and fight off some of the viral activity that causes common colds and sore throats. To use it safely, simply take 1 to 2 teaspoons of honey straight, or mix it into a warm, not boiling cup of water or herbal tea. You can do this every few hours as needed. However, it is crucial to remember that honey should never be given to infants under 12 months old. This is because of the rare but serious risk of infant botulism, a severe form of food poisoning. If your sore throat is severe, lasts more than a few days, is accompanied by a high fever, difficulty swallowing, or white spots on your tonsils, it's essential to see a doctor. An interesting fact: archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are thousands of years old and still perfectly preserved, a testament to its unique chemical properties. From the discomfort of a sore throat, we often move to its noisy companion, the dry, hacking cough. People traditionally create a humid environment, others sit in a steamy bathroom. The idea is simple. A dry, irritated airway needs moisture. But does breathing warm, moist air actually calm a cough? Or is it a placebo? Evidence is mixed, leaning toward limited support. Many report subjective relief, yet large-scale trials don't consistently show a big benefit. Still, health bodies like Australia's Health Direct say steam can give temporary relief. It soothes irritated airways and may loosen tightness from a dry cough. Not a cure, but a safe, potentially effective management tool. Mechanism. Your respiratory tract, nose, throat, and lungs has a delicate mucous membrane. With a cold virus, it can become inflamed, dry, and irritated, triggering the cough reflex. Inhaling warm steam adds moisture to these surfaces. That hydration can soothe irritation, much like moisturizer on dry skin. It can also thin small amounts of sticky mucus clinging to the back of the throat, reducing that tickle that makes you cough. For safety, prefer the bathroom method over the towel and bowl method. The towel and bowl method risks scalding burns. Run a hot shower, close the bathroom door, and sit in the steamy room, not in the shower, for 10 to 15 minutes. Or use a cool mist humidifier in your bedroom at night and keep it clean to prevent mold and bacteria. If a cough lasts more than 3 weeks, or comes with wheezing, shortness of breath, chest pain, or coughing up blood, seek immediate medical advice. Fun fact: the average human cough travels about 80 kilometers per hour. The Lip Savior, a simple fix for chapped lips. This affects almost everyone, especially in cold, windy months. The skin on our lips is incredibly thin and delicate, lacking the oil glands that protect the rest of our skin. That makes them highly susceptible to drying out, leading to cracking, peeling, soreness. People often lick their lips, which gives a brief relief, but makes things worse as the saliva evaporates. Others grab the nearest balm, but not all balms are equal. The evidence-backed solution is simple. Use an occlusive agent. An occlusive creates a physical barrier that locks moisture in. Dermatologists and health organizations recommend simple, bland emollients. Think petroleum jelly, Thick, waxy balms. Avoid products with added fragrances, menthol, camphor. Those can sting or dry lips further. The mechanism is physics. Chapped lips result from transepidermal water loss, water escaping from the skin into dry air. An occlusive balm acts like a waterproof seal. It doesn't add moisture but prevents evaporation. That lets the skin heal and rehydrate from within. Apply balm to slightly damp lips after drinking water or after washing your face to trap extra surface moisture and speed healing. Use a thick layer of an unfragranced lip balm or petroleum jelly frequently through the day, especially before going out into cold or windy weather and before bed. Lip balm addiction is a myth. If you use irritating products, lips get stuck in a cycle of inflammation and dryness, making you reach for balm more. If lips don't improve after 1-2 weeks, or you see severe cracking, swelling, or signs of infection, see a doctor or dermatologist. Fun fact, lip skin is so thin you can see the blood vessels underneath, which is what gives them their reddish color. The humble gargle, salt water for oral sores. Finally, let's tackle those small but mighty sources of misery. Canker sores, minor mouth irritations. These small ulcers inside the mouth aren't contagious. Eating, drinking, talking a painful ordeal. A time-honored, almost universal folk remedy is to gargle with salt water. It's a simple, cheap, readily available fix. The sharp, salty taste certainly makes it feel like it's doing something. Does this stand up to scientific scrutiny? Is swishing with brine a valid therapeutic action, or just a distracting, unpleasant sensation? The evidence is largely based on its known chemical properties and long history of traditional use, rather than large-scale clinical trials. However, it is widely recommended by dentists and doctors. It is considered to have moderate evidence for providing temporary relief and promoting a clean environment for healing. The American Dental Association often suggests a salt water rinse after minor dental procedures to aid healing and reduce discomfort. It won't magically make a canker sore disappear overnight, but it can help manage symptoms and support the body's natural healing process. The way it works is based on a simple principle of biology called osmosis. The saltwater solution is more concentrated, hypertonic, than the fluids in the cells of your mouth. When you gargle, this difference in concentration draws fluid out of the inflamed tissues. This can help to reduce swelling and the painful pressure associated with it. Furthermore, salt creates an environment that is temporarily less hospitable for some types of bacteria, helping to cleanse the area and reduce the risk of secondary infection in the open sore. It effectively acts as a gentle, natural antiseptic and anti-inflammatory rinse. To use it safely, dissolve half a teaspoon of regular table salt into 1 cup of warm water. Stir until the salt is fully dissolved. Take a mouthful. Swish it around your mouth for 20 to 30 seconds, making sure to gargle at the back of your throat if you can, and then spit it out. Do not swallow the salt water. You can repeat this process 2 to 4 times a day. This remedy should be avoided by people on a salt-restricted diet or those with high blood pressure, who should consult their doctor first. If a canker sore is unusually large, lasts for more than 2 weeks, or you develop multiple sores, it's time to see a doctor or dentist. And for our interesting fact, salt has been used as a disinfectant and for food preservation for at least 6,000 years, which is why our word salary comes from the Latin salarium, the money given to Roman soldiers to buy salt. The cool down, first aid for minor burns. Life in the kitchen, around the barbecue, with a hot cup of tea. That sudden sharp sting of touching a hot pan or being splashed by boiling water is a universally unpleasant experience. The traditional first response varies wildly, from old wives' tales about putting butter, toothpaste on the burn, to simply hoping the pain goes away. These methods are not just ineffective, they can be incredibly harmful, trapping heat and increasing the risk of infection. So when that painful moment happens, what is the one, single, evidence-backed action that you should take immediately? The scientific and medical consensus on this is absolute and unwavering. For a minor thermal burn, the most crucial first aid step is to cool the affected area under cool, running water for a full 20 minutes. This is the gold standard of care recommended by every major medical and first aid organization in the world, including St. John Ambulance Australia, the Australian Red Cross. The evidence is so strong that it is considered a non-negotiable first step. Research has shown that this specific action, cool running water for 20 minutes, can significantly reduce the depth of the burn, lessen pain, and promote faster healing. The biological mechanism behind this is simple and effective. A burn is essentially a transfer of heat energy into your skin, which continues to damage tissue even after you have moved away from the heat source. Running cool water over the burn actively draws this residual heat out of the skin, halting the burning process in its tracks. This is why 20 minutes is the magic number. It takes that long to effectively cool the deeper layers of tissue. This immediate cooling also helps to reduce swelling and inflammation by constricting blood vessels, and it provides significant, direct pain relief by cooling the nerve endings in the affected skin. To perform this safely and correctly, hold the burned area under cool, gently running tap water for exactly 20 minutes. Use a clock to time it. The water should be cool, not icy or freezing, as extreme cold can cause further tissue damage. After cooling, gently pat the area dry with a clean cloth and cover it with a sterile non-stick dressing. Never use ice, butter, oils, or creams on a fresh burn. You should seek immediate medical care for any burn that is larger than a 20-cent coin, is on the face, hands, or joints, is a chemical burn, is an electrical burn, or shows signs of being deep, blistering white, or charred skin. A surprising statistic: applying cool water within 3 hours of the injury can still be beneficial, so it's rarely too late to cool a burn. From a stumble on the pavement to a slip of a kitchen knife, minor cuts and scrapes are an unavoidable part of life. These small breaches in our skin's defense system can seem trivial, but they open the door to infection. Historically, treatments ranged from letting the wound air out to applying various folk poultices. Many of us grew up with the sting of an antiseptic being dabbed on a fresh graze. But does dousing a minor wound in strong antiseptic actually help, or could it be doing more harm than good? Let's examine the modern evidence-based approach to wound care. Current best practice has shifted away from routine use of harsh antiseptics like hydrogen peroxide or strong iodine. These kill bacteria, but can also damage delicate new skin cells trying to heal. The evidence supports a simpler, gentler approach. Clean the wound thoroughly, then create a clean, protected environment for healing. Less is often more. The mechanism of healing is fascinating. After initial cleaning, the key factor is moisture balance. Wounds heal faster with less scarring when kept slightly moist and covered. This is called moist wound healing. A moist, protected environment encourages new skin cells to migrate across the wound bed. A dry, hard scab can block that migration, slowing healing and increasing scarring. For safe care, first, apply gentle pressure with a clean cloth to stop bleeding. Next, rinse the wound with cool running water or a sterile saline solution. Gently pat the surrounding skin dry. Apply a very thin layer of over-the-counter antibiotic ointment, optional. Finally, cover with a sterile dressing, a band-aid, or a non-stick pad. Change the dressing daily or whenever it gets wet or dirty. See a doctor if the wound is deep, won't stop bleeding, was caused by a dirty or rusty object, or shows signs of infection, increasing redness, swelling, pus, or fever. You must see a doctor. Fun fact: a single square inch of skin holds millions of bacteria, so cleaning wounds matters. In the great Australian outdoors, or even just in your own backyard, encounters with mosquitoes, midges, and other biting insects are practically a guarantee. While most bites are harmless, they leave behind an intensely itchy, red bump that can be maddeningly distracting. The traditional urge is to scratch, which provides a moment of relief, but ultimately makes the inflammation and itching worse, and can even lead to broken skin and infection. People have tried everything from dabbing on vinegar to making an X with a fingernail. But what does the evidence say is an effective way to calm the itch without causing more harm? The evidence for treating simple insect bites points towards a few key strategies, with a cold compress being a primary, highly recommended first step. Many health authorities, including the Victorian government's Better Health channel, recommend applying a cold pack to the bite area. This is a simple, safe, and effective way to reduce both the itching and the swelling. For more persistent itching, over-the-counter preparations can be useful. Look for creams containing a mild corticosteroid like hydrocortisone or a calming agent like calamine. These have strong evidence for reducing the local inflammation and irritation that causes the itch. The biological reason for the itch is your body's own immune response. When a mosquito bites you, it injects a small amount of its saliva, which contains proteins that your body recognizes as foreign. In response, your immune system releases histamine. It is this histamine that causes the blood vessels to leak, leading to the characteristic red, swollen bump, and it irritates the local nerve endings, causing the sensation of itchiness. Applying cold works by constricting the blood vessels, which reduces the swelling and leakage. It also has a numbing effect on the nerve endings, directly dampening the itch signal being sent to your brain. To use this remedy safely, wrap an ice pack or a bag of frozen peas in a thin towel and apply it to the bite for 10-minute intervals. Never apply ice directly to the skin, as it can cause an ice burn. You can repeat this several times a day. If the itching is severe, a dab of calamine lotion or a 1% hydrocortisone cream can be applied as directed on the packaging. Who should avoid it? Be cautious with hydrocortisone on the face or on young children without consulting a pharmacist or doctor. You should seek medical attention if you have a severe allergic reaction with symptoms like difficulty breathing, swelling of the face or throat, or dizziness. Also, see a doctor if the bite area looks infected. Interesting fact: only female mosquitoes bite, as they need the protein from blood to produce their eggs. Blisters are the bane of hikers, runners, and anyone who has ever worn a new pair of shoes. These fluid-filled bubbles form on the skin as a result of friction, and they can be incredibly painful. The great debate: pop or not to pop? Traditional wisdom is split. Some advocate immediate lancing to release the pressure, while others insist on leaving them well alone. Medical advice is clear: protect the blister roof to prevent pain and infection. The overwhelming medical consensus is to leave a friction blister intact if possible. The skin on top of the blister, though thin, is a perfect sterile natural barrier against bacteria. Reputable sources like the American Academy of Dermatology strongly advise against intentionally popping a blister. Puncturing it creates an open wound and dramatically increases the risk of infection, which can lead to a much more serious problem than the blister itself. The fluid inside the blister, called serum, is also sterile and provides a cushion for the healing skin underneath. The best approach is to protect it and let it heal on its own. The formation of a blister is your body's clever self-defense mechanism. When a specific spot on your skin is repeatedly rubbed, the upper layer of skin separates from the layers beneath. Your body then fills this gap with clear fluid to cushion the underlying tissue from further damage and provide a clean, protected space for it to heal. By leaving the blister's roof in place, you are essentially using a bandage that your own body has created. Eventually, the skin underneath will heal and your body will reabsorb the fluid. The top layer of skin will then dry out and peel off naturally. For safe management, if you have an intact blister, the best thing to do is cover it to protect it from further friction. A simple band-aid might work for a small blister, but for larger ones, a specialized blister dressing made from hydrocolloid is ideal. These dressings are cushioned and act like a second skin, reducing pain and protecting the blister roof. If a blister breaks on its own, let the fluid drain. Gently wash the area with mild soap and water. Apply an antibiotic ointment and cover it with a sterile dressing. Avoid using these dressings if you have diabetes or poor circulation, and consult your doctor for any foot-related wound. See a doctor if you see signs of infection, such as pus, increasing pain, or red streaks leading away from the blister. An interesting historical fact: Ötzi the Iceman, a 5,300-year-old mummy, was found wearing shoes stuffed with grass, likely to prevent blisters during his long treks. We move now from the outside of the body to the inside, tackling some of the most common and disruptive digestive complaints. Let's begin with nausea, that deeply unpleasant queasy sensation, triggered by a stomach bug, pregnancy, anxiety. For thousands of years, across Asia and beyond, the go-to remedy has been ginger. used in traditional Chinese medicine, used in Ayurvedic medicine, as a digestive aid and anti-nausea treatment for centuries, consumed as a tea, chewed raw, taken crystallized. But does this ancient stomach settler have a place in modern medicine? Scientific evidence is surprisingly strong. Numerous high-quality studies and systematic reviews have demonstrated its effectiveness in reducing nausea and vomiting associated with pregnancy and post-surgery. The evidence for its use in chemotherapy-induced nausea is also promising. Consequently, many reputable health organizations, including those in Australia, now acknowledge ginger as a legitimate, evidence-informed option for managing mild nausea. This is a powerful example of a traditional remedy that has been thoroughly vindicated by modern scientific investigation, making it a reliable tool for your home health arsenal. The exact mechanism of how ginger works is still being fully unraveled, but scientists believe it primarily acts on the digestive system itself, rather than the brain. It's thought that active compounds in ginger, known as gingerols and shogaols, help to speed up gastric emptying. This encourages the stomach to move its contents into the small intestine more quickly, relieving upper gut pressure and discomfort. These compounds may also block certain receptors in the gut that trigger the nausea signal, calming the digestive tract and reducing the urge to vomit. To use it safely for mild nausea, you can make a simple ginger tea by steeping a few slices of fresh, peeled ginger root in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Alternatively, you can chew on a small piece of fresh ginger or crystallized ginger. For a more standardized dose, ginger capsules are available from pharmacies. While generally safe, high doses of ginger can sometimes cause mild heartburn or stomach upset. People with gallstone disease or those taking blood-thinning medications should speak to a doctor before using ginger therapeutically. If nausea is severe, persistent, accompanied by intense pain, a high fever, or you are unable to keep any fluids down, it is crucial to seek medical attention to rule out a more serious condition and prevent dehydration. An interesting fact: ginger is in the same plant family as turmeric and cardamom, two other spices with long histories of medicinal use. From the internal queasiness of nausea, we turn to a specific type of it that plagues travelers: motion sickness. Whether you're in a car, on a boat, or on a roller coaster, that awful feeling of dizziness, cold sweats, and nausea can ruin any journey. The traditional advice often involves a range of behaviors, from sitting in a certain seat to focusing on a fixed point. Many people simply try to close their eyes and hope for the best, which often makes things worse. So, what is the simple, evidence-backed, non-drug technique that can genuinely help to prevent and alleviate the misery of motion sickness? The current understanding of motion sickness supports a very simple, yet powerful behavioral remedy. Look at the horizon. This isn't just an old sailor's tale. It's grounded in the science of our sensory systems. First aid and travel medicine experts consistently recommend this as a primary strategy. The goal is to resolve the sensory conflict that lies at the heart of motion sickness. The evidence for this is more physiological and observational than from large clinical trials, but it's a universally accepted and recommended first-line approach because it directly addresses the root cause without any side effects. The way this works is by sorting out a major disagreement between your senses. Motion sickness happens when your brain receives conflicting information from your eyes, your inner ears, which sense motion, acceleration, and gravity, and your body's position sensors. For example, when you're in the cabin of a boat, your inner ears feel the rocking motion, but your eyes see a room that appears to be still. This sensory mismatch confuses the brain, which can trigger the nausea response. By looking out at a fixed point on the horizon, you are providing your eyes with visual proof of the motion that your inner ear is feeling, allowing your brain to reconcile the conflicting signals and re-establish equilibrium. To put this into practice, always try to sit where you can get a clear view of the road or the horizon. In a car, this means the front passenger seat. On a bus or train, a window seat facing forward is best. On a boat, get up on deck and look out at the sea. Avoid reading, looking at your phone, or watching movies, as these activities fix your eyes on a stationary object inside the moving vehicle, exacerbating the sensory conflict. Who should avoid this? Nobody. It's a completely safe technique for everyone. However, if you have severe motion sickness that isn't helped by these behavioral tricks, speak to a pharmacist about over-the-counter remedies. If you experience sudden, severe dizziness or vertigo when you are not in motion, you should see a doctor. An interesting fact: astronauts are highly susceptible to a form of motion sickness called space adaptation syndrome, as their brains adapt to the zero-gravity environment. Let's now address a common and often embarrassing digestive issue: trapped gas and bloating. That uncomfortable feeling of fullness, pressure, and tightness in the abdomen can be both physically painful and socially awkward. People have traditionally reached for various herbal teas, with peppermint being one of the most popular choices for centuries. It's long been hailed as a carminative, an old term for a substance that helps to expel gas from the digestive system. But is a simple cup of peppermint tea truly capable of deflating that bloated feeling, or is its effect just a comforting placebo? The scientific evidence for peppermint, specifically peppermint oil, in treating digestive complaints is surprisingly robust, especially for conditions like irritable bowel syndrome. Multiple clinical trials have shown that enteric-coated peppermint oil capsules, which allow the oil to pass through the stomach and release in the intestines, can effectively reduce abdominal pain, bloating, and gas in people with IBS. While there's less formal research on simple peppermint tea for occasional bloating, it is widely recommended by health professionals as a safe and gentle first step, based on its known muscle-relaxing properties and long history of effective traditional use. The magic of peppermint lies in its main active ingredient, menthol. Menthol is a natural smooth muscle relaxant. Your entire digestive tract, from your esophagus to your intestines, is lined with smooth muscle. When you're bloated with trapped gas, this muscle can go into spasm, causing pain and preventing the gas from moving along. The menthol in peppermint helps to relax these muscles, including the lower esophageal sphincter, which can allow trapped gas to be expelled more easily as a burp, and can calm intestinal spasms, allowing gas to pass through the system more smoothly and reducing that feeling of painful pressure. To use it safely, simply drink a cup of peppermint tea after a meal, or when you feel bloated. You can use a commercial tea bag or steep fresh peppermint leaves in hot water for a more potent brew. However, there's an important group who should be cautious: people who suffer from acid reflux or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. Because peppermint can relax the sphincter between the stomach and the esophagus, it can sometimes make heartburn and reflux worse by allowing stomach acid to splash upwards. If bloating is severe, persistent, or accompanied by significant pain, weight loss, or a change in bowel habits, it's essential to see a doctor to rule out more serious underlying conditions. A surprising fact: peppermint is a natural hybrid of two other mint species, watermint and spearmint. The gentle push, simple strategies for mild constipation. Our final stop in this tour of digestive remedies is a topic many find difficult to discuss, yet it affects millions: mild constipation. The feeling of being backed up can cause discomfort, bloating, and strain. Traditional advice has always centered on diet, particularly on increasing fiber intake. People have sworn by prunes and bran cereals. Let's look at the specific, evidence-backed strategies that actually work. The scientific consensus is overwhelming: increasing dietary fiber and increasing fluid intake. Health guidelines from around the globe, including Australia's NHMRC, place dietary management first, specifically soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Prunes, dried plums are a standout traditional remedy. Some studies suggest prunes can outperform psyllium husk. The mechanism is twofold: bulk and lubrication. Insoluble fiber, found in whole grains and nuts. It acts like a bulking agent, adding mass to the stool to help move things along. Soluble fiber is found in oats, beans, and fruits like prunes. Soluble fiber absorbs water to form a gel-like substance. This softens the stool, making it easier to pass. Prunes have an extra trick: they contain sorbitol. Sorbitol draws more water into the gut, aiding the process. To use this effectively, gradually increase your intake of high-fiber foods. A sudden large increase can cause gas and bloating. Aim to include whole grain bread, oatmeal, beans, lentils, fruits, vegetables, a handful of prunes, about 4 to 5, and a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. Crucially, increase your fluid intake. Fiber without enough water can worsen constipation. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water a day. While this is safe for most, if you have a sudden and unexplained change in bowel habits, severe abdominal pain, or see blood in your stool, consult a doctor promptly. Interesting fact. The average adult in many Western countries eats only about half the recommended daily amount of fiber. So yeah, keep that in mind. The tension tamer, heat therapy for muscle aches. As we continue our journey, we now turn to the aches and pains that can follow a long day of physical work or an intense workout. That deep, nagging ache in your lower back or the stiffness in your neck and shoulders is a familiar feeling for many. For generations, the instinctive response has been to apply heat. People have used heated towels, hot water bottles, and warm baths to soothe their sore muscles. This comforting warmth seems to melt the tension away. But is this just a feeling, or is there a genuine physiological process at play? Let's apply our myth versus fact lens to this age-old method of pain relief. The evidence for using superficial heat for minor musculoskeletal pain is quite strong. Physiotherapists and doctors regularly recommend heat therapy as a safe, non-pharmacological way to manage this type of discomfort. It's particularly effective for pain that is chronic or related to muscle stiffness and tension, rather than a fresh injury with swelling. Unlike the cold therapy we discussed for minor burns, which constricts blood vessels, heat does the opposite. It's a simple, accessible tool that, when used correctly, can provide significant relief from the kind of dull, persistent aches that can plague our daily lives. The biological mechanism behind heat therapy is all about blood flow. When you apply a heat pack to a sore muscle, it causes the blood vessels in that area to dilate or widen in a process called vasodilation. This increased blood flow delivers more oxygen and nutrients to the stressed muscle tissues, which can help them to repair and recover more effectively. At the same time, the increased circulation helps to flush away the metabolic waste products that can accumulate in muscles and contribute to soreness. On a sensory level, the heat can also stimulate receptors in the skin that help to block the transmission of pain signals to the brain, providing direct and comforting relief. To use heat therapy safely, apply a heat pack, a warm compress, or a hot water bottle to the affected area for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. The heat should be comfortably warm, not painfully hot, to avoid burns. It's crucial to wrap any heat source in a towel to protect your skin. Never fall asleep with a heating pad on, and never apply heat to a new injury that is swollen, as this can increase inflammation. Use cold for the first 48 hours on a fresh sprain or strain. People with diabetes, nerve damage, or poor circulation should be extremely cautious and consult a doctor before using heat therapy. If your pain is severe, the result of a significant injury, or doesn't improve, you must seek medical advice. An interesting fact: some venom from spiders and snakes can be broken down by heat, which is one reason heat packs are sometimes used after other first aid treatments for certain types of bites. Well, okay, that's something to remember. The body clock resets sleep hygiene for better rest. From physical pain, we move to a different kind of challenge: the struggle for a good night's sleep. Whether it's due to jet lag, stress, or just bad habits, difficulty falling or staying asleep can have a massive impact on our health and well-being. Traditional advice often involves counting sheep or drinking warm milk, but modern science has developed a much more comprehensive, evidence-based approach known as sleep hygiene. This isn't a single remedy, but a collection of habits and environmental adjustments designed to work with your body's natural rhythms to promote better, more restorative rest. The evidence supporting good sleep hygiene is overwhelmingly positive and forms the foundation of treatment for common insomnia. Reputable organizations worldwide, including Australia's Sleep Health Foundation, endorse these practices as the first-line approach before considering medication. The principles are based on decades of research into our internal body clock, or circadian rhythm. This rhythm governs our sleep-wake cycle, and it's highly sensitive to cues from our environment, particularly light. By consciously managing these cues, we can effectively reset our body clock and train our brains to associate our bedroom with sleep, making it easier to drift off and stay asleep. The biological process is centered on a hormone called melatonin, often called the hormone of darkness. Melatonin is produced by the pineal gland in your brain when your eyes detect dimming light. It signals to your body that it's time to prepare for sleep. Conversely, exposure to bright light, especially the blue light emitted by screens, phones, tablets, computers, actively suppresses melatonin production, tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. To put this into practice, establish a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine, such as reading a book, a physical one, not on a screen, taking a warm bath, or listening to calm music. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep. Keep it dark, quiet, and cool. Crucially, avoid screens for at least 1 hour before bed. Also, avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. This approach is safe for everyone and can be transformative. However, if you have persistent insomnia, severe snoring with pauses in breathing, a sign of sleep apnea, or restless legs that keep you awake, it's essential to see a doctor for a proper diagnosis. A surprising fact, our ancestors used to have 2 distinct sleep periods at night, separated by an hour or 2 of wakefulness, a pattern known as biphasic sleep. The coolant system prevents heat exhaustion and dehydration. Our final hack is crucial, especially for life in a warm climate like Australia. On a hot day or during strenuous activity, our bodies lose water and essential salts through sweat. Traditional advice: drink plenty of water. But a more nuanced, evidence-based approach is more effective. Scientific and medical guidelines are clear. Prevention is key. It's not only about drinking water. Be mindful of the timing and type of fluids you consume, and manage your exposure to heat. First aid organizations stress prehydrating before activity on a hot day. Keep drinking at regular intervals, even before you feel thirsty. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already in the early stages of dehydration. For prolonged sweating, water alone isn't enough. Replace electrolytes. Electrolytes are salts and minerals essential for nerve and muscle function. The mechanism is all about thermoregulation. Your body's primary way of cooling down is through sweating. As sweat evaporates from your skin, it takes heat with it. This process requires a large amount of fluid. If you become dehydrated, your blood volume drops and your heart has to work harder. Your body's ability to sweat and cool itself becomes impaired. This can lead to a dangerous rise in core body temperature and heat exhaustion. Replacing electrolytes like sodium and potassium is vital. They're lost in sweat. They help maintain fluid balance, they support nerve signals, and they help prevent muscle cramps. To prevent dehydration, drink water consistently throughout the day. If you're exercising for more than an hour or sweating heavily, replace electrolytes. You don't need expensive sports drinks. Simple solution: drink water, have a salty snack, or eat a banana, rich in potassium. Recognize early signs of heat exhaustion, heavy sweating, pale skin, muscle cramps, headache, dizziness, nausea. If you notice these, move to a cool place, lie down, sip cool water, apply cool compresses. If symptoms worsen or the person becomes confused or loses consciousness, it is a medical emergency. Call for an ambulance immediately. Interesting fact, the principle of osmosis is why electrolytes help hydration. Electrolytes help your body's cells absorb and retain water effectively. Your home health toolkit. A final review. We have journeyed together through the home, from the kitchen pantry to the medicine cabinet, uncovering the science behind 14 common home fixes. We've seen how a simple spoonful of honey for a cough is supported by good evidence. We've learned the importance of 20 minutes of cool running water for a minor burn. It can dramatically change the outcome. From the ginger that calms nausea to sleep hygiene that resets your internal clock, we have built a toolkit of practical, accessible, evidence-informed strategies. These remedies are a first line of defense for life's minor bumps, bites, ailments. The core message: separate myth from fact. We opened a curiosity loop about a kitchen spice with anti-inflammatory properties, and while we explored ginger and peppermint, the underlying principle applies broadly. We also asked about a fruit for jet lag, unspecified, But the principles of hydration and light snacks are key. This film gives you a framework to think critically about home remedies. It was never to replace your doctor, but to equip you to handle minor issues confidently and to know when a simple fix is appropriate. Remember the different levels of evidence. Some remedies, like heat for muscle pain or fiber for constipation, are strongly supported. Others, such as steam for a cough, offer limited evidence but safe temporary relief. Some practices, like putting butter on a burn, are harmful and debunked. Understanding this hierarchy is crucial. It lets you weigh benefits versus risks and make sensible, informed choices for your family. As we conclude, think of these 14 remedies as a starting point. Cleaning a wound gently, cooling a burn properly, supporting your body's natural rhythms, these principles extend to many areas of health. The power is in understanding why fixes work, not memorizing a list. This knowledge turns you into an informed manager of everyday well-being, a practical skill that provides comfort and care from the heart of your home. The path forward: knowledge, caution, and care. Our exploration of home remedies must end on a note of caution and responsibility. The most important lesson is not what to do, but knowing when to stop doing and start seeking professional help. Every remedy we discussed came with a clear set of red flags: a sore throat with a high fever, a cut that won't stop bleeding, bloating accompanied by severe pain, and a cough that lingers for weeks. These are not issues for a home remedy. They are signals from your body that it needs the expertise of a doctor, pharmacist, other healthcare professional. This documentary was designed to be a guide, not a gospel. Your health is a dynamic and deeply personal thing. What works for one person may not work for another. Special circumstances always apply: pregnancy, infancy, chronic illnesses like diabetes, taking specific medications. Never give honey to a child under 1. Those with reflux should be wary of peppermint also. The ultimate rule is this: when in doubt, always ask a professional. Your local pharmacist is an incredible, accessible resource for advice on minor health concerns. Foster a healthy relationship with your body. Foster a healthy relationship with the healthcare system. Listen to your body. Trust your instincts. Never hesitate to seek medical care when something feels wrong. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Stay curious, stay informed, stay well. And if you found this video useful, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we have plenty more documentaries and videos coming on health, wealth, science, technology, the human body, and everything in between. And as always, stay totally awesome. And remember, taking care of yourself is the first step, and knowing when to ask for help is the wisest one of all. Always seek medical care when you need it.